Are we about to witness history, or will we see the toppling of the Ring Dynasty? Welcome to this, the season finale of Pro Football Now. As always, we're glad to have you aboard. I'm Ron Burke, and we're playing some musical chairs this week with our three wise men. Let me first begin by introducing the man who's usually in the nation's capital, but he's here this week with me in Philadelphia. And as is custom during Super Bowl week, Doc Walker, you bring your two-fisted salute. Let us see it.
No, I got a promotion with Baldy out, sunning and funning, having fun, big shotting it. I came down to South Philadelphia to work, to get the job done, right? That's a commitment to excellence.
That's from Super Bowls 17 and 18. All right, Brian Baldier, whom you've already introduced here, normally in the seat to my left, joins us from Glendale, Arizona. And joining us from Dallas is Tim Brown, who comes to us, as always, courtesy of Bodog Football. And, Baldy, let me start with you. I mean, Doc's trying to hold down the fort here in your chair. What do you think of that?
Well, he's got no shot. My question is, why isn't Doc here? I mean, it is not a Super Bowl unless I see Doc with one of those big fat ones from, the island of Cuba in his hand, looking large, Radio Row, getting the top A guest coming through there every single day. It's just not the same Super Bowl without him right now. I want to know why he isn't here.
Brian Mitchell is there, and we all know, Brian Mitchell, B. Mitch, and I'm just sharing the love. Plus, there's such a huge void in Philadelphia when you're out of town that I felt this was only promising. And then I understand that Tim Brown is on his way. It had been not enough room. The limo was not enough room for the three of us. So me being the elder statesman, I did what the older guys do, what the big brother does. He steps back and lets the younger guys, feel it.
He brings them along. Tim,
we appreciate that, Doc.
Tim, let me ask you this from a former player's perspective. What does Super Bowl weekend mean as a former player? You'll be watching guys on the field doing the things that you did so well for so many years, but you'll be doing it as an observer. How do you settle in as a former player in an environment like that?
Well, it's still pretty tough, to be honest with you. I mean, my routine for the Super Bowl has been, I go there for the festivities and I do some work, but I'm out of town Sunday morning because it's a very difficult thing to sit there for me, even now being retired for 3 years, and knowing that that's the one thing that I wasn't able to accomplish. It's still very difficult to sit there and watch those guys come out the locker room. I went to the game my rookie year way back in '88. When the 49ers came back to beat the Bengals, and that feeling that I had sitting up in the press box was not a good one. So that's my routine, man. It's still very hard to sit there and watch those guys go out on the field.
Well, I have a strong feeling, Tim, that in a few years your name will be prominent on Super Bowl weekend when they start talking about who's going into the Hall of Fame. We certainly look forward to that day because you are definitely deserving of that.
Appreciate it.
All right, it's Super Bowl weekend. We're looking at number 42 here, Giants and Patriots. I hope it's a great game. On paper, it stacks up like it's going to be a terrific game. And, Doc, the Patriots, we know who they are. They're kind of like this at a great level emotionally all season long. It looks like they understand what their coach expects of them, and they handle it that way accordingly. The Giants come to Glendale. They step off the plane, all dressed in black. The word we get through the grapevine is that they're dressed for a funeral, not their own. And they've been talking trash, even giving scores. 23-17, Plexico says the Giants will win this game. What do you think about that approach? You played in a couple of these games.
Well, I think about the one we lost more so than the one we won.
To the Raiders.
Because when the Raiders beat us, we had played earlier in the year, 35-37 game, and they were an excellent football team. But it's how you prepare and how you handle that week. We didn't manage that week very well. With Tom Brady's ankle, whether he's hurt or not, it seems to me that the Patriots have been a lot looser than I've ever seen them. They're a little bit out of their personality as well. So the Giants, if they've done one thing successful, they've brought New England out to become a lot more vocal. So it may work to their advantage, but I always worry about how you handle it.
Let's listen to what Tom Brady thinks in light of the fact that Plexico Burress, for one, has talked up this game very highly in his own team's favor. Here's Brady talking about the proclamation that Plexico made that this will be a 23-17 final in favor of New York.
We're only going to score 17 points? Okay. Is Flax playing defense? We don't make predictions, or we just let our play do the talking. So learned that lesson early in my career. And no matter what you say during the week, and God knows we say a lot this entire week, but we're focused on going out there and trying to do our very best.
All right, Baldy, you've been there in Glendale, Arizona for a few days now. Give us a feel from a Patriots perspective, first of all, of where this team is, because they have been just so constant. They've been a constant all season long. Even when games have gotten tight, they've risen to the occasion at crunch time. What is that team like going into this game?
Well, they haven't blinked all year. No matter what the score is, what the circumstances are, where they're playing, and I would expect they're going to take that same focus. I mean, that's what this whole season is about. But just listening to Randy Moss today talk, I mean, he's just maybe the most compelling figure there is in the league. You can't stop listening and to see why he went to New England versus Green Bay. Just open, honest, and glib. But like everyone has said, without any sort of prescription, is that this is a team that's going to let their playing do the talking. And that's the way it should be. I mean, they've done everything the way you would want to draw up if you had to put a team together. They've done everything according to script. And I don't think they're going to get off the script between now and Sunday. I think they will be loose enough. I don't think they'll play the game tight. And I think they'll be coming out looking to assault the Giants early in this game. Deep balls. The deep bomb is in. Bombs away. I think they're coming after them early from the very first get-go.
You know, guys, a player I often think about at Super Bowl time is Dan Marino, because early in his career he gets to the Super Bowl and the assumption is made at that point, and understandably so back then, that this guy's going to have many more opportunities like this. But Tim, you get there one time, you really have to cherish it, don't you? Because it's so hard, and I've heard players say this over and over, to get back to these games, the Patriots being a noticeable exception. From a Giants or Patriots perspective, getting there that first time, I'm sure, is a great thing. But when New England's back there again and again, how do you think their mindset changes and approach to each particular Super Bowl game that they play?
Well, obviously they seem to hold it together and do what they need to do. I mean, they've been able to win every Super Bowl they've been in the new millennium here. So, I think this year is a very special thing for them, because it's not just about winning the Super Bowl. Obviously, that's the best of the best. But now they have the opportunity to put the cherry on top of the thing and be the only team in the history of the NFL to ever go 19-0. So they have plenty to play for. I think this is a team that's going to go out and play and give it their best shot. I hope that the Giants can rise up to the occasion and maybe play better than this football team. But I think it's going to be a fantastic football game.
Yeah, Doc, I think that there's a thought process that because they played so late in the season and they played a really competitive game, these two teams, that the Giants are that much off of where New England is. Do you see it that way? Is it helpful even for either team that they've met? Does it matter at this point?
We spend so much time, and maybe we overanalyze it at a time. I thought Green Bay was playing as well as anybody in football. Mm-hmm. And the Giants went out and put a vice grip on them defensively and took them out of the game and forced Favre to force the football. And so what happens if by some strange reason New England's down by 10? We haven't seen, as Baldy alluded to, we haven't seen Brady panic at all. Let's just say the pressure of trying to complete this task, because should they lose, they're done. They immediately go the brunt of talk show hosts, late-night talk show hosts. They're jokes. That's how we are in America. Second-place team in Super Bowl becomes a joke.
Yeah.
And so maybe that pressure catches up. And maybe New York's defensively can force them to be one-dimensional. I didn't never think they could do that to Green Bay, and they did it.
Dominated in Green Bay, of all places. All right, we're going to step aside for our first break here on this final season edition of Pro Football Now. But coming up out of this timeout, a little later, we'll debate who'll have a big